I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have roll call.
Roger,
Yep.
Paul,
Here.
Randy,
Here.
Pam,
Here.
and I'm here. We're all here but the commissioner, I believe.
I think it's Putnam.
Did he quit? Did Jim quit?
Yeah, Jim got voted out, and I think
Yeah.
it's Putnam is who's supposed to be on. I think.
Putnam.
I think. If I'm wrong, we'll fix it in the next meeting, but that Doug Putnam, I think, is who's supposed to be. Yep.
Has everybody had a couple minutes to review the agenda? Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. She sent the minutes out. Did everybody have an opportunity to review the minutes on your emails? If you have, when you get time, we'll entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
We have a second.
I'll second that.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. You're on the clock there, Russ.
Okay.
Budget report.
Terry usually does that, but this is the budget as of the end of January, I do believe. Pretty much follow the same line as we do every year. No big swings in anything. We always buy our chemical in the fall, and I don't know what this tariff stuff will do come fall. We'll see.
Is it hard to get your chemicals now?
No, I have all the chemical I need for the year, because we always buy November, December, we buy all the chemical for the following year. So I have the chemicals I need for this year. I got a couple oddball ones I get for bad spots, but we'll see what goes through the year. If China drives the price of stuff up, then chemicals could be quite a bit higher in the fall, or it might sort itself out, we don't know. But, yeah, we're staying, the amount I use, I've trimmed it way down from starting, and I'm about as far down as I dare go. So now every year it'll creep up according to cost of living.
To expand on what Pam asked a little bit, have you compared prices today and what they were last fall?
I have not done a comparison there because I don't buy chemical in spring, so I haven't called anybody to see what's different. We go off state bid when we bid to two companies. We could use state bid, and we might just do that because the numbers are the same, but I like to stay engaged with those two companies. They got good salesmen, a lot of information from them, so we've been doing that, but we might go to just state bid, which they bid the same chemical, same price. But I haven't checked pricing.
Okay.
But I'm guessing with the tariff games going on, there could be some higher priced chemical come fall, and I guess we get to fall, we'll look at it. Maybe it might be the year to wait till spring if, depending on what the economy does to try and push it. Budget will be a little bit ugly for 1 year because you're basically doubling up, but if we can save a bunch, so we got to look at it in the fall to see if things are really high, if they're getting somewhere with their tariff fights, but we'll see what goes on.
So how many townships are on board to have you spray?
I haven't had any of them call me yet this year, but generally it's 5 of them that call me. Yeah, what is it? Delapre, Grant, Lincoln, Highland, Eden. Those are the usual ones. And I sent out letters like 3 years in a row and never get a response other than the normal ones that call me, so I haven't sent a letter out to all of them. like I did in the past, because I think they all have their own thing they're doing. The usual ones call me every year, and it's usually in about a month or so I'll get a phone call from them.
Well, then this budget for weed spray, that's for those,
That includes that, and that's all reimbursed. So they get charged a chemical and then my labor and a truck charge. So when we do for townships, that's reimbursed.
What's your cost per mile?
It varies. It's like 125 for the big truck, 75 or 100 for a pickup, and then like 50 for a Ranger per hour. And then whatever the chemical cost is, and then there's a labor rate they put on there. And the labor rate depends on if it's me or the other guy spraying, because we're two different salaries, but
So that's above and beyond what it charges for the,
yeah, they'll have chemical, equipment, and labor is what they get charged. And I don't have that flat rates, what they are, I can't remember.
okay.
I can bring that to the next meeting too.
When you spray the whole mile. You don't spot spray though, do you? You just,
When I do for a township, it's generally spray the whole ditch, both sides. I did for Lincoln this year with the flooding, I did go out and spot spray some bad Canadian spots. They wanted it sprayed. Well, when they called me, it was right in June when we had the flood and everything was wet, and I said it'd have to be fall, and they had some bad Canadian spots, so I did run out with a pickup and hit their worst spots. But when you spot spray, you can miss a lot, so generally, township, yeah, you just spray everything.
so when they call in and they ask your prices, if they're comparing to another sprayer, what do you tell them then for?
Then I'll get with Rhiannon, what are her current rates, and I'll figure it out and actually give them like a
Oh,
bid.
okay. The reason I was asking, because Canton Township, I know they're out there looking for a spray or whatever to,
And I can get numbers to you. I gotta kinda, when we do that, I gotta go look at a map quick and estimate how many acres when you do both sides of the road. Cause it varies from one township to another, abandoned roads and that, and you're basically paying down to the acre what I spray. It's not, here's a flat rate per mile.
oh, okay.
But I will get yours figured out and get something to you.
Yeah, I know they're out there looking right now. That's the only reason I was asking, so.
And I can't remember, I wouldn't want to say it out loud. I know at Weed Conference, I asked Turner County, they contract spray, but that's only spot spraying. And they do a bad job. So,
Any other discussion on the budget report? If not, do we have a motion to accept as presented?
motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Equipment report.
should be good on equipment. Shouldn't have any major failures. I'll have my usual nitpicky stuff I gotta fix every year, check valves and stuff over, but barring any disasters, I should be good throughout the year. Yeah, we didn't budget for a new big piece of equipment at all. I'm looking for a trailer, but we kind of put that on hold because I think I'm going to do a trade with the highway department. They want to get a bigger trailer, so instead of me go buy one and them sell the old one, I'll take one of theirs for hauling my Rangers, because the little trailers we got to haul the Rangers, I'm right at the limit. One of them actually has a bent axle because they'd hauled sandbags on it, but other than that, I'm not chasing any big equipment. It'll be just standard business throughout the year.
That won't be a cost to you though, if you get that trailer, will it?
No,
Okay.
no. And that's kind of why we were gonna get a new trailer last year, because that one with the bent axle, and I straightened it enough, it works. But then when we sit together and they've got a trailer they're gonna get rid of, it doesn't do no good to go out and spend 10 grand on a trailer when I can trade with them and they go buy another one for what mine gets used. Then it's actually used on both sides. That's the plan until it falls apart.
Okay. We need a motion on that, I suppose, for, accept that report.
Yeah, I suppose we do.
Go ahead and make a motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passed. Spray report.
This spring, I'm gonna try and cover everything once early. I know I try and hit some spring, some fall, but with the flooding and the way it's been the past couple of years, my intent, weather, Mother Nature, everything works. I wanna try and get across every road, basically solid spraying as places I cut it back because it's real clean, but try and get across everything and then chase with the Rangers, because this flooding messed up a lot of spots. There's a lot of weeds, there's ditches that are full of corn stalks that are gonna be a mess, so my plan is to get across everything as fast as I can, then go back and see what turns bad, unless we have another 100-year flood this year. And
I hope not.
And it's dry out there. I was up, well, North T area, just running around looking at stuff, and yeah, them ditches that I haven't sprayed for 5 years are bone dry, so. Could start raining tomorrow and rain till forever, but that's kind of my plan this year, is I want to get across everything because of all the flooding and crap. I got some spots that are gonna be terrible dirty. There's still 3 foot of corn stalks in some ditches. Other than that, yeah, and it'll be the usual townships. I will actually get you something, Roger, just kind of a generic number of what it would be by miles
Okay.
per years.
Remember, it used to be, you never worried about June so much, about the weather and everything, but heck, the last 10 years, June, you're always kind of a relief when June is passed, because these rains have just been killers lately.
Yeah, and that's kind of when I like to start and go hard in June, because your grass will get up 3 foot tall, but the weeds ain't there, so you gotta kinda, I wanna go, but if the weed ain't there, yes, my Tordon and Milestone does have carryover, but it does a lot better if it lands on something green. And the other, I'm gonna try and do less Milestone in the spring and more in the fall. Like getting across it with my Tordon and then do the Milestone. That's when the Canadians excel, is when it dries up and it's got deep roots and the grass starts backing off, then you can get the Canadians, but that's plan A. We might be on plan Z before I get it figured out.
Any discussion on the spray report? If not, do we have a motion to accept it as presented?
So moved.
Second,
Second it.
all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passed. Complaints?
Chase the usual ones. In the past, I've done an early letter. It don't work. So I have my list of the ones I chase, and if I have given you a letter last year, I will check back. And I try and do it at least 2 years after, so it's a 3-year deal. So I got my list of those to chase, and we'll go chasing the usual ones again, see what spring brings, and slowly but surely, we pick through them and we get rid of 5 and pick up 10 more, so.
Pretty much all of them are north, right?
I would say out of the I looked at that this morning, 100 plus complaints I had, 75% are north of Highway 18. And it's around the towns, new developments. New developments, and they'll buy a piece of land and they don't do nothing with it for a year and a half, 2 years, turns into a mess. This year I ran into quite a few, these sloughs dried up. Well, as soon as they dry up, it's all Canadians. They fill them up with water, there's nothing. And the one, all but one, you get a hold of the farmer and he says, yeah, and he can't get out there, it's spongy wet, it's dried up, but it's wet, but they all worked on it and getting it done. Businesses are the hardest one, contractors, realtors. Number 1, find them. 2, get them to answer the letter. But we have resources to do that.
Okay, old business. I don't see anything listed here at old business.
I don't think we left anything open.
Do you have anything, Russ, or?
No,
New business. Welcome to new commissioner, board member.
I do believe it's Mr. Putnam will be on. I don't know for sure.
I wonder if he's on the email list already. I mean, it's,
I can't answer. That's Terry and Rhiannon handle that. And
oh,
I didn't. I'd been on the run and Terry was gone, and when I seen that on here, I went, I should have asked questions before the meeting.
And he is from where? Where is he from?
I do not know nothing about him. Never met him, don't know anything about him. But I do believe that's who it is. And if I'm wrong, we'll fix it at the next meeting. I will make a note to have Rhiannon make sure he's on the list.
okay.
He might not have known about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't see the people that it went out to. I just read the email, so.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Okay, now I see it's election time. Oh, boy, huh? Okay, so I guess we'll go down the list here. Looks like we have to elect a chair, a vice chair, and a secretary. So I will open up the floor to nominations to each one of these individually until we entertain a motion to close the nominations. So the first thing I'll open up here is to elect a chair. So do we have any nominations?
I make a motion, you keep them all the same. I don't know if I can do that. I ain't a board member. I'm flunky.
Who was vice chair last year?
Pam.
I'll try vice chair, not chair, vice chair.
Yeah.
I'm going out of order.
So we still are sitting here with the chair.
What's wrong with being chairman, Randy?
I'll take vice chair.
You should never sit on a board you wouldn't be willing to be the chairman of.
That's exactly right.
I think it was 8 years in a row they had unanimous Russ as president when I was on the ambulance, and I didn't even show up to 2 of the meetings trying to get out of it.
That's why.
That's why.
Yeah.
I hear the train a-coming.
How about if we do Roger for chair, we got a vice chair, and Ralph, secretary. I'll make that a motion.
There's a motion.
Maybe I'll work myself into chair next year.
So
Need a
we got a
second.
motion on the floor. Do we have a second to that motion?
So moved.
Any discussion on that?
Got one.
No, I mean discussion.
Oh, discussion.
Okay. Okay, so if we have Roger, chair, and Randy, vice, and Ralph, secretary. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion's passed. Anybody want to make a public comment?
I've had 2 that said they were gonna show up and never have, so
To,
complainers.
complainers? Really?
Yeah, that they didn't think I was being just when I said they had weeds.
Oh,
Well, here's state law, so do that. Who's the board? I said, here's the board, come to the meeting.
somebody up north?
And the other one that wanted dandelions on the noxious weed list. Good luck on that one.
Wow.
That's a natural weed to the state.
They're easy to kill.
Or the individual that stopped me when I was spraying up north, and why do you use chemicals? Well, because it's legal and it works and all that. You should use goats.
No.
Goats?
Goats. Yep.
How long would they last on the highway?
Well, I had
Yeah.
I had a good conversation. He said, it's a goats. I said, well, there's 324 miles of road, 640 some miles of ditch. Who's gonna, well, you got a bunch of guys.
How many shepherds you'd have to hire?
He said, you got a bunch of guys. You can just keep them in the ditch. You know how many goats it would take?
Yeah, and then the fences. There are no fences anymore in places.
It is a good idea, but, well, just put them in the bad spots. I said, yeah, well, they're everywhere. So that was interesting. I was
I'm
Quite-
sure.
quite entertained at the conversation.
Yeah.
So I brought it to the board, so you guys have the goat option if you want to go that route.
Is there anybody that uses drones to spray ditches?
Ditches, no. You gotta be so careful around beans, because with a drone, you get a wash. You know, a drone might be this wide, and you'll have a wash as wide as this room, and that's part of how they spray. But I do know down to Yankton, they use a drone, they hire a company, but they use a drone a lot, because they get down along the Missouri River and stuff. You can't even get to a lot of that with a Ranger.
Yeah.
So they hired guy come in with a drone to do these steeper banks and stuff and get up to that. And they do have their place. They really work out the hills. They use it a bunch. Some places out west, and then big wide open, they'll go out and map it first, and then they just go out and spot spray their bad spots. But for us, it'd be really hard, because like I said, you get so much wash. You're by a cornfield or a pasture, yeah, go for it. But yeah, you got corn, beans, you'd have so much skip that it'd be hard to do.
I was just thinking in our area, we have a whole quarter of CRP grass with a big drainage ditch. And I looked in there one year, it was getting pretty weedy, but you can't get to it because when they dredged out the ditch, they left mounds on each side. You can't
Yeah,
get up. You can't
Drone
get-
would work there, and I can't tell you the name of, there's several companies out there, and it does a good job. It's no different spraying with tractor or pickup or something, but yeah, they get to spots that you can't get to. And some of them, there was a couple of years ago, I seen that drone was, it was as wide as that table is square. And I forget how many gallons it carries, and they put on a really low rate. They're probably putting 1 gallon of water on per acre, so they can cover more ground, and it'll go out, follows the border of the field. Once it has it in the computer, he hits go, and the thing will go out and on its own, it'll cross it, come back to load when it needs, and they're good for spots like that. As far as ditches, not really, because like I said, if you got 105 over there, 200-foot ditch, you could do it. You get 134 or 125 with a 30-foot ditch, it's impossible. But yeah, there are places that drones really, really work. And then like in fields, if you've had your field mapped and everything, you know exactly where weeds are. That guy that had drone, he said he does a lot of that. They give him the map, it'll go out and just spray them spots and come back. You don't have to cover the whole field, so. But yeah, a big grass deal like you got, you could get to it.
See, there are areas in this one particular CRP, you can't even drive in there because of the mounds,
Well,
flicker tail or pocket gopher mounds.
mm-hmm,
But on the edge, that's where there's Canadians.
well, I was down south, there's a guy it was CRP ground, and he came to me and asked if I could get to it with a Ranger, and I ended up recalibrating and changing my gallons per acre because I had to go so slow. You can go 50 yards, and then you got into so rough because nothing's been out there that Ended up changing up my spray booms to go higher because you spent more time sideways than straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, drones are an option. They're getting more and more popular, especially with the mapping of fields now. You can put that map into their computer and it'll go only where the weeds are. But that's, spot spraying works, but it'll cut your throat too because you spot spray and then the spot moves over. So you gotta keep coming back and you get a lot of escapes and you get dirty shoulders that way. That's why my trucks are set up with a 6, 11, and 30-foot tip. Like 128 that has such dirty kochia. But that chemical I used last year worked really good and I'm gonna hit it again this year.
Okay. Well, with nothing else on the agenda, I see, do we have a motion for
Wait.
adjournment?
Next meeting,
Oh
next
yeah, when
meeting.
is that?
June.
Yeah, it's always in June.
July.
So I'll talk to Rhiannon because they gotta figure out when this is available. It's like second, third Tuesday is what we've been hitting. I will chase her down right away to get it figured out when we can land in here that we don't hit court or whatever. So it'd be that like third week of June, a Tuesday, I think is what we've been landing on.
June 17th, if it,
17th.
June
17th.
same day as my water board meeting, that's why.
Huh.
8:30.
A year to the date when it started raining last year.
Yeah, then the 20th we get,
If we get another 22 inches of rain, I won't make that one.
I'm gonna resign.
Would be,
June 17th.
Yeah.
Is that right, Pam?
Yep.
I will, talk to Rhiannon right away when I get back so she can check the schedule here to make sure that works, and I think it does.
Okay.
Is that third Tuesday or whatever? And have her send out an email for sure that it is or it ain't, but I will double check.
Same time?
Yeah, it'd be 8:30, cause I think it can't be 8, it's gotta be 8:30, and there's something hits right behind us. I know, they use this as a courtroom, so. Any other questions for me on anything?
If not, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Thanks, everybody.